So I'm Scot Friedman, and I'm playing Michael in the production. Michael is the husband of Mary Elizabeth, and he is a corporate lawyer by trade, and it's their 10th anniversary, and they're coming back to, well, she's bringing him, unbeknownst to him, back to the place where he first proposed to her, where they lived 10 years prior.
Well, I play the character of Mary Elizabeth, and she and her husband are celebrating their 10th anniversary. And as an anniversary gift, she brings him back to the place that they lived when they got engaged, when he was still in school and they didn't have a whole lot of money, and they were really beginning their life together. They don't expect to find 3 people living in the house.
No, there are a lot of funny and light moments in the play, but ultimately, yes, it is a play about confrontations. It starts off right at the beginning with Michael and Mary Elizabeth coming to this house that they think is empty, and turns out there are squatters there. So that's the first confrontation that happens right at the beginning of the play, and I think it's kind of symbolic of the other emotional confrontations that happen throughout the play.
Mary Elizabeth is very friendly, very nice. She's a really good person. But I would say that it seems that maybe she hasn't had big challenges in her life that would maybe give her reason to be other than good and friendly. Here in this play, she's finally confronted, I think because of the people that they meet in this house. I think she really does have to confront these questions in a much more forceful way than she ever has in her life before.
Michael approaches his life and his marriage as very prescribed and rote. He's operating as if it's a playbook. This is what he's supposed to do in his job, in his life, in his marriage. And he has some regrets because there was a time where he could have gone a different route. He has a more creative side, which shows through occasionally. But he kind of sticks to the playbook.
She talks about that we all have choices, and that if we made different choices, we could have different life. She says things like, there's a time to be a child and a time to be an adult. So she has this wisdom, but again, I don't think that she's been challenged enough. I think she can apply this wisdom to her life. She's very self-reflective to a certain extent, but because her life seems to be relatively easy, she hasn't had to really put these life philosophies to the test.
He approaches his marriage as, as very prescribed, and he views it as a partnership more than a romantic venture.
There actually are violent confrontations, physically and emotionally. Some of the physical confrontations are frightening, and some are funny. Depends, but you see all the different characters come up against each other in some way. Mary Elizabeth's biggest nemesis, I guess, in the play is the character of Angel, the other female character. And Angel just hates Mary Elizabeth, even though she doesn't know her. She just hates Mary Elizabeth for everything she stands for the life that she lives. And that's very difficult for Mary Elizabeth.
I like the venues. We talked about the venue that the happy couple is taking place in. So they like to seek out these alternative venues and very interesting spaces to do productions in. And then just their approach to their work, it seems very original.
And I know we haven't refined a lot of the emotional highs and lows yet. So I would say, let's let's utilize this rehearsal, one, to make sure that all the staging looks right. If we run into a huge fumble, we can stop, back it up, and clarify. But as far as the acting goes, I say go for it. Let's utilize this time together. And, you know, go as far as you want to go, and we can always clean up later. And if there's something that's really not working, like I said, this is the time to see it.
What?
It seems to be all there is. I'm so sorry.
I had a whole diamond ring.
I roll big joints.
Oh shit, they were huge.
I'm sorry. I guess I'm a little out of practice.
Jesus H. fucking Christ, Eddie is gonna kill me.
We should be going.
Now you're gonna leave. You pull this shit and then bail.
It's not like we didn't have a good time.
Yes, it is.
Michael, don't be rude.
Who the fuck are you? This is Mary Elizabeth, and this is Michael.
How do you do? Can I talk to you for a minute?
Who? I didn't catch their last
I
name.
don't give a shit about their last names. What are they doing
How
here?
much does your husband make?
Excuse me?
Come on, he's like a banker or a business executive or something.
He is an attorney.
A lawyer. Ah, they make the big bucks.
Well, not that big. He's not a trial lawyer. He's a corporate attorney.
Well, he makes enough so that you don't work, right?
How?
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
I knew it. You never worked a day in your life.
That's not true.
Whatever, you let him slave away at the office while you sit home and eat bonbons and watch soap operas?
It's not like that at all. I am very busy.
Having lunch with the girls doesn't count as work. You little rich bitches are all the same.
I beg your pardon.
Jeez, Angel, lay off of her. You don't work either.
That's different, and you know it. I have a disability.
Well, there's two different things. The people who smoke pot, they smoke inside. People who smoke cigarettes, they usually smoke outside.
Yeah, true.
Unless they have one of those electronic cigarettes.
Yeah, right.
I have been seeing more people.
I don't think Eddie's the type.
No, I don't think Eddie
Just
can afford
mentioned.
The Happy Couple is going to be presented at the White House Ranch, which is a small, rather run-down house in East Austin. But that is representative of the place where Mary Elizabeth and Michael lived when they were younger. And so it's a really interesting space. I like these alternative venues. They really give the audience a chance to feel like they're part of the action as opposed to just being an audience watching. They are in the house with the characters and using the same doors that the characters use.